Well, nung sabihin ni Martha, kung nandito ka lang, parang akala mo napakadali for Jesus to enter Judea. Eh may threat sa buhay niya. Pero hindi na nag-reason out si Jesus. Hindi na siya nag-explain. Hindi niya sinabi, Martha naman, huwag ka na magtatampo. Alam mo, hindi dyan buhay ko. Kaya hindi na timing ko yung pagpasok ko dito sa Judea. Pasensya ka na, ha? Pasensya ka na. Hindi niya sinabi yun. Ang sabi lang niya, saan yun? Nilibig. Tumakbo siya. Bumalik sa bahay. Niyugyug niya yung kapatid niyang nagtatampo, si Mary. Ang sabi niya, nandiyan si Jesus. Ba't di ka lumabas? Eh, dito ngayon na siya. Bigat-bigat ng paa niya. Mas hinarap niya ang sama ng tingin. Mas maganda sa Kapampangan, linawin ng barok para ito. Walang Tagalog version yan. Kapampangan na yan. Napaka-exact na Kapampangan. Linawin ng barok para ito. Pakuha sa tingin. Inulit niya yung sumbat. Ang sabi niya, if you were here, my brother would not have died. I'm sure sometimes you feel like praying that way to God. I'm sure kung minsan gusto niyo rin mag-complain kay Lord. Lord, nasan ka? Kung nandito ka lang, hindi sana nangyari sa buhay namin ito. Nandito ka lang, wala ka eh. Pinabayaan mo kami. Don't you feel like sometimes praying that to God? Now, if you feel like saying that to God, say it. Don't be afraid. It's okay. It's okay naman nung ba? Kaya sasabihin mo, praise God, pero nagdurgo naman yung puso mo. Huwag kang plastic kay Lord. You know, sa harapan lang ng Panginoon, magpakatotoo ka. He'd rather see your real self. Kaya, madaming prayers dyan sa sumbat sa Panginoon. Where were you, Lord? Nasaan ka? If you have been here. Tapos, the temptation to despair comes close to that painful lament. First by Martha, verse 21, if you were here. And then repeated by Mary, verse 32, if only you were here. We are tempted to despair when in the hour of need, desperate need for God's intervention on account of our loved ones, God does not seem to be there. Hope is a strong act of protest against God's absence. No wonder Gabriel Marcel calls it a prayer. I hope in thee for us. True hope, God, is a prayer. A prayer. True hope is a human cry for help when death or despair threatens to put an end, not just to life, but to that which gives sense to life itself. What is it? Love. Diba? You know the saying, ubi caritas et amor, Deus ibi est. In English, where there is love, there is God. Because God is love. It is the very foundational doctrine of the Christian faith. It is also the only basis for hope. And Marcel, the philosopher, puts it more succinctly. Ang sabi, to love is to say to the beloved, you will not die. Yun daw ang ibig sabihin ng to love. To say to the one you love, you will not die. Kasi, faith is founded on the God who is love. If God is immortal, love cannot die. That is why only love is our source of hope. Kaya, to love is to say to the beloved, you will not die. Nothing but love can make us say that everything is lost just because I lost. Love introduces us to something or to someone greater than ourselves, greater than the lovers themselves. The Christian teaching about marriage is a covenant, not between a man and his wife, but between the couple and God. Minsan nakakalimutan nila yun. Pilit lang tinatawag na covenant ng marriage. Covenant between whom? Between man and his wife? No. Ang marriage is a covenant between the couple and God. Pag inalis mo yung si God, walang sacrament. Ang sabi nila, what God has joined together, let no one separate. What God has not joined together, do not put together. Because it is God who joins you. Yun ang meaning ng sacrament. Yun ang meaning ng sacrament. So, the Christian teaching on marriage is a covenant between the couple and God. Tells a lot about the origin of hope for the believer. I hope in thee for us. Ang ibig sabihin nun, apart from you, Lord, nothing could hold us together. Apart from you, Lord, nothing can hold us together. Kaya, no wonder, sabi ni Marcel, true hope manifests itself in the gift of patience and the capacity to relax in the darkness, to wait until the breaking of dawn. Wait till the darkness is over. Wait till the tempest is done. Hope for the sunshine tomorrow. Sabi ni St. Paul, in hope we were saved. And hope that sees for itself is not hope. Who hopes for what one sees? But if we hope for what we do not even see, we wait with endurance. And in 2 Corinthians 4, St. Paul notes what constitutes hope. That gift of endurance amidst all forms of adversities. Sabi ni St. Paul, the one who hopes says, we are afflicted in every way, but we're not constrained. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. Persecuted, but we're not abandoned. Struck down, but we are not destroyed. And he says, that is why we're not discouraged. When he says that, you can reward that to say, therefore we do not despair. A Christian does not despair. He then proceeds to describe the experience of hope this way. Nang sabi niya, although our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. Naku, magandang ano to sa mga tumatanda sa atin. I know your outer self is wearing away. Ako, feel ko na yan sa tuhod ko eh. Ang liksi-liksi ko dati. Ngayon, may mga rayuman na. Naglalak na dito mga to. It's wearing away. This body is wearing away. This body. But, the beautiful thing is our inner self is renewed day by day. Habang papatanda ang katawan, for the believer, papabata ng papabata ang kaluluwa. Because you're being prepared for birthing. Isn't that wonderful? And so St. Paul says in verses 17 to 18 of 2 Corinthians 4, ang sabi niya, for this momentary light afflictions producing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to what is seen, but to what is unseen. For what is seen is passing away, but what is unseen is eternal. It is to declare with utmost confidence that there is nothing that can separate us from each other because of the love of God. We can be separated from each other, but because of the love of God, actually, we cannot be separated from each other. Saan kinukuha yan? Kay St. Paul again, Romans chapter 8. Di ba sabi niya, if God is for us, who can be against us? Who can separate us from the love of God? Di ba? Tinagalog pa nga yan eh. Sino ang makapaghihiwalay sa atin sa pag-ibig ng Diyos? Sino? Sabi niya, paghihirap ba, kapighatian, pag-uusig, o gutom, o taba, kahit na kamatayan, walang makapaghihiwalay sa atin sa pag-ibig ng Diyos. Nothing can separate us from the ones we love because of the love of God. Our answer is, so sabi ni St. Paul, I am now convinced, neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor any creature will be able to separate us from the love of God because of Christ Jesus our Lord. He is our only source of hope. Christ Jesus our Lord. And for St. Paul, in the person of Jesus himself, who is both human and divine, we find our covenant. Dati-rati sa Old Testament, yung covenant, ang symbol of the covenant ay yung dalawang tapyas ng bato. The Ten Commandments. Ang sabi niya, in the New Testament, our covenant becomes a person, Jesus himself. Bakit? Kasi siya Diyos na totoo at taong totoo in one person. In Jesus, ang Diyos at tao have become inseparable. Maganda kata yan, ha? Inseparable. That's what you are to me. Parang yun ang awit ng Diyos sa sangkatauhan. Because of Jesus, what you are to me is this, inseparable. All things in heaven and earth, both visible and invisible, all things were created through Jesus and for Jesus, through Him, to reconcile all things for Him, making peace by the blood of His cross. Let me wind up now. No? So sabi nitong philosopher na to, true hope is founded on a stubborn belief